Kia ora! This is my first vlog of my journey of going mortgage-free and living more sustainably in intentional community. So, the start of this journey starts with me investing in a tiny home on wheels, and then finding land, and then finding community. If it can be all three in 1 year, that would be great. Otherwise, it's a stepping stone process. So I started living here a year ago. So this is where I'm living now. I'm renting in Hamilton, in Enderley, and it's a lovely little place, 72 square meters, and I am able to grow a little bit of food, as you can see here. And for this place, I'm paying $500 a week, or if over a year, which I'll be here almost a year now, it'll be $26,000. So for me, that's just too much money thrown away. It's been lovely living here, but I want an investment, and I want to live mortgage-free. I want to live in a way that I don't have to be constantly paying for my place to live. So the tiny home on wheels is my path to being mortgage-free and hopefully financially free in the future. So I found two tiny homes that fit within my budget. Both were $40,000. The one has become available, and I'm really excited. I did organize finance. I have been approved for half of that amount, so I'll put a deposit down and loan the other. Now, I am with my 15-year-old son. My daughter, who's 18, is going off to university in 1 month time. So it'll be my son and I. And so because the tiny home is very small, I'm going to be getting a little caravan for him to have as his bedroom. And then the two of us will share the tiny home as our main living space. So the next thing I did was to look for land when I realized that it was possible to actually afford a tiny home. So I put my name down on a website called Land Share New Zealand. And very shortly thereafter, I got a call from a man who's got land south of Hamilton. I need to stay close to my son's high school, so luckily that's in that right direction. And he actually wants to have a little community there. And he said that there's already people living there in a tiny home, and he'd be really happy to have me as well. And they like to grow food and share things and do projects together, and so do I. So that sounds like it could work. I am still to check it out, but at least it's something, it's a start. I've also put my request out on a few residential pages for those areas that I would like to live, and I'll follow up if this first land opportunity doesn't work out. So the next thing I've started to do is look at where I can minimize so that all of our stuff does fit in this tiny home. So I've started to minimize all of the things that I have. I've got some boxes for giveaway, for sell, to be able to trade. And so that's really wonderful to be able to really ask those questions. Is this bringing me joy, and will I be happy to have it in my space? And I'm feeling really good about that process. In terms of living sustainably, when I was in South Africa, I turned my homestead into the Rainbow Sustainability Commons, which was a demonstration center for permaculture principles. I'm really looking forward to having that aspect of my life again, and being able to share that with others, which I think the tiny home on wheels will afford me. And I'm used to living in small spaces anyway, and living out a little bit more out of the city, so I'm really looking forward to this opportunity to have back what I really valued. Another aspect of living mortgage-free is being able to have more time available to be able to do things that I really enjoy and that I value, and being able to have more money available to be able to donate, or to be able to do things that I really want to do, or to buy things that I really need that would make my life have a higher quality. So those are the things that living mortgage-free I'm looking forward to in a few years when I've paid off my tiny home. So although this tiny home that I'm getting now is not my ideal tiny home, it is a stepping stone, and it is going to allow me to have then a deposit on the next tiny home that I would like. So I've already started looking at all the different websites that are popping up, seems like on a daily basis, either on Facebook or actual websites, of new builders and designers that are coming online to offer. And it's just so many choices. I just love it to see the creativity that people put into how they use space. So I'm going to take the next year while I'm paying off my tiny home to really find the kind of tiny home I want to live in next. And I'll save up money, and that's what I'm hoping to do in 2022. So along with seeing what's being done on Facebook and websites, there is the Big Tiny Expo in February to April in Motueka on the South Island. I've been invited to present there. I'm going to be presenting on permaculture design to create common spaces, specifically for tiny home communities, as well as places like co-housing and eco-villages. And so I'm going to have a chance to meet with some tiny home designers down there and hopefully do some interviewing, and I'll be vlogging while I'm down there as well, exposing other people who follow on this channel to the kinds of things I'm discovering along my journey. So as I said, this is part one of many parts of my journey to being mortgage-free, living more sustainably, and finding intentional community. So keep tuning in to see how the next step of this journey goes.